Once you've actually made the jump, it's like, crap, I need to figure it out now. This immense amount of discomfort to get done. When you go with the intention to learn, your worry should not be about money. Having that attitude allowed me to really learn exponentially. Some guy ordered 20, 30 orders from me on 20, 30 different PayPal accounts. I was using stolen credit cards, and then they charged back. It was under my mom's PayPal account. The account went like minus a few $1,000s. And at my age, I was like, what is going on?
What were the biggest things we changed?
You were just able to look at everything like an architect and just be like, okay, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is right. My close rate literally went from 15% to 30%. As soon as we doubled our pricing, they took me more seriously, but it also brought the right clients in. So what happened was...
Joey, welcome to Dubai, man. Excited to have you here. We're down here for agency founders. Give me your raw, unfiltered Australian opinion, being first time in Dubai. How's it been?
Look, Dubai has been crazy good, very good. I mean, the usual opinion of Aussies on Dubai, it's like it's super expensive, it's super lavish, it's super this, it's super fake. But when I actually got here, I mean, it's actually been the best experience ever in terms of the people, the networking opportunities, and the mindset that you actually gain by being here is second to none.
Do you think it's a place you're going to come back to?
Definitely come back to live. I'm not sure yet, but definitely to come back to, yeah, at least once a year, to come back here, because I don't think there's any other better place for networking. Like, we had the agency founders event last week. By the way, best event ever, and it was my first ever event. Right, I was just like in Sydney, just doing my thing. What happens is you end up being this sort of like a bubble. It's like me and my brother working together, and we're in this bubble. We're watching YouTube videos. You know, we're getting a lot of help from you, but we're still in a bubble in terms of people in person, right? And then coming to the agency founders event, it's very different to be with like-minded people in person rather than like on a Zoom call. And having like the best agencies in the world literally come together in one room and network and just listen to great speakers and all of that just opens your brain to what's possible.
For sure. I think they say entrepreneurship is pretty lonely, especially online entrepreneurship. So if you don't do stuff like this, you never get the opportunity to expand. You know, this guy's doing $1 million, $2 million, $5 million a month, and it makes you realize how much further you can push. But yeah, man, I mean, the reason I wanted to have you on was because we've obviously worked together for a while now. You've done great. I want to get into your journey, what's working for you, how you went from where you were to where you are now. So talk to me, since we've been working together, how much have you grown?
We've pretty much more than doubled, just more than doubled.
So you've more than doubled. And how long has that been over? What time span?
So we doubled in less than 6 months, which was amazing, right? And after that, we had a lot of problems with the growth. So a lot of, fixing the operations. And, we were at a point in the agency where I was by myself, right? And I had, of course, some staff helping me, offshore staff, etc. But I was pretty much by myself. And then I brought my brother on, and we were at this point. It's like, okay, we really need help. And then I found you online, and I saw what you were talking about, and I really resonated with your brand because it's sort of similar. Like, it's not exactly the same brand, but it's like very similar approach to niching down. And what stood out to me most was like, you're in the home improvement space as well. So it's like, okay, if this guy's in home improvement, then come on, he has something to say and he's doing great numbers. I mean, I saw that podcast with you, and I forgot their name, but you on a podcast, and great podcast about your story and stuff. And I really resonated with it, especially because you cracked the US market as well from the UK, which was sick. To be able to do that from outside the country, I just find that really intriguing. It's like, how did he do it? Right? I'm in Australia. How do I crack the US market? But to answer your question, to circle back, we've pretty much doubled in less than 6 months of working together. Then after that, it was just fixing stuff because we broke the back end.
Okay, so you've doubled after 6 months. So we can talk about, what actually made you double, the things you actioned, the things that changed. But before we get into that, I think it's important to run through like you and a little bit of your journey, because if I remember rightly, you were originally working in a marketing agency.
Correct.
Right? So talk to me about your start. Well, what got you to working in an agency in the first place? Were you always interested in marketing?
It's a great question. So when I was about 14 years old, I was...
Oh, we're going back.
We're going way back.
Sure.
Because I feel like it's where it started, right? Because I used to do this thing called, and they call it drop servicing or instead of drop shipping, it's like drop servicing. And I didn't even know about that term back then. But all I found out was, Fiverr.com used to be like this big site on freelancers, but it was very different concept to today. It was actually everything was $5, right? It's $5 gig. That's why it's called Fiverr. So back in the day, you couldn't charge more than $5 on that platform. So all the services everyone had to provide, you were forced to charge $5, right? From memory. There was this one service, it was like, we'll sell you 5,000 Facebook page likes for $5. I'm like, that's sick. So I tested on one of my Facebook pages, and I was like, damn, I got the likes instantly in 24 hours and everything. I'm like, this is crazy. This is great social proof for anyone who wants to go on your page, you want to go viral, whatever it is, or for your business. So what if I list it on eBay, sell the same service, and just charge $20 for it? So I did that. Then I woke up one morning, I'm like, ching. I'm like, an order came through. I was like, holy moly, I just made money online. And I was like, that's crazy. So then I would buy the Fiverr gig. I would fulfill it by just sending his Facebook page, and I would make $15 just like with 1 minute of work, literally. And then I got another order. Then I get another order. Then I was on passive income for like a year just doing that. So I was just taking the gigs on Fiverr, selling it on eBay. And I think that's where this is where everything started in terms of pretty much like a little spark. And then from there, it's like I ended up going in this just looking at this rabbit hole of making money online, right? Came across this forum called blackhatworld.com. It was a huge forum back in the day, and they used to call it internet marketing back in the day. I am internet marketing. And then I'll just be on there every single day during school, during class. It's funny, just me talking about it right now, just literally coming into my memories. I would be in class just looking at Black Hat forums and just reading and learning about SEO, learning about Facebook ads, it was just so interesting to me. And then after that, I had this thing, right? Do you remember the meme on 21 Jump Street? My name is Jeff.
Yeah.
It's super lame when you say it now, but like it was popping off, and I caught it very early, this meme, right? It was popping off a little bit. I'm like, how can I monetize this? How can I do something that I can leverage of this trend that's going on now? Because it was wildly viral, as you remember, right? It was like wildly viral. Everyone was just making videos out of it. So at the very beginning, I created a Facebook page. And then after I created this Facebook page, I just started reposting people's videos on it, right? Kid you not, within like 3-4 months, I didn't remember exactly the time frame, but we grew to like 100,000 followers on Facebook. And this was like Facebook organic days where it was like so easy to blow up. And then everyone saw me as the My Name is Jeff guy. I was like,
Sure.
So everyone would just send their memes to me. I would re-upload it for them because they would want us to re-upload their meme. And then the pages kept growing. Videos would get 10, 20 million views on Facebook itself directly. 2 million, 3 million, like whatever video I'd post, it would just blow up. Like 70% success rate. I wasn't even trying. It was crazy. So I was like, okay, how do you actually make money from this thing? Because there was no monetization. So then I was like, how about I learned about this thing called AdSense, YouTube AdSense, which is you can make money from YouTube. And I was like, okay, how about I take these videos and put on YouTube and actually put on a platform that will pay you? So then I did that. But then what I would do back in the day, from memory, you could actually like take the YouTube link and paste it right inside Facebook and would sort of embed it inside Facebook itself. You can't do that anymore, but you could do it back in the day. So I used that to my advantage. So people would go, I had a lot of traffic, I had a lot of followers on Facebook. They would watch the video and then bang, that's when everything went crazy. Because then the views went on trending and trending on Reddit, posting my the memes on thing. And then because I was getting everyone's My Name is Jeff content I was posting, I started making passive income again through the YouTube side of things. And I was like, man, this is great. I don't need to work. And I was like getting excited and buying Air Maxes and all just getting excited. Mom, Dad, what do you want? What do we want to buy? I thought I was rich, which was wild. So I was doing that for a little bit, and I was like 14, 15, I'd say. I was making like 3-4 grand a month just doing that, which was sick.
Oh, you're balling at 15.
Yeah, I was
4 grand.
balling. Yeah, I was balling. So it was sick. So I was like doing that, and I had a lot of fun with it. And then that's where my curiosity got even bigger, and I was like, really like, hyped about this whole journey. I was like, this is amazing. Why would I work a day in my life? This is the way to go. So then, yeah, growing that YouTube channel and stuff, that I reckon that was like the biggest. Honestly, I don't think anything compares to that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Till this day, I haven't had a feeling like maybe signing your first client, maybe, but this feeling when you're 15 and you just cracked YouTube and you cracked like organic, you're just like on another planet. It wasn't even about the money, man. I was just like getting so hyped. So then I started making my own videos and slipping it into my YouTube channel, acting like someone else sent it to me. And they started going viral. I was like, sick. My sense of humor is doing something here, right? So I was like using that plus the my name is Jeff stuff. And then, yeah, pretty much that's how it started. And then there was this one time I went back to the eBay stuff, right? I'm like, this time, what if I just take games online? And there was this thing called, I forgot what it was called, G2A, which is like you buy game keys for like very cheap price because I used to get it from like Russia or like Russian keys, and you can. So I was reselling that. I'll take that, take it to eBay. I'd resell it, tell them, hey, this is the game, be transparent about it, blah, blah, blah. Sell it for retail price because it was like 40% cheaper. Drop servicing again, got my first sale, got my second sale. And that's when I was making a lot more money because it's more higher ticket. But then some guy, I started getting like ridiculous orders coming through, right? And I was like looking, I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm getting all these orders, but then all the usernames look the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's like __0023. And then the next one, they would all have like 2 underscores and like 3, 4 numbers. Anyway, got like 20 orders like that. And then I was like, what is going on here? And then I checked my PayPal, and PayPal, oh my God. PayPal was the worst thing in the world. I don't know how it is today. I barely use it. But back in the day, it was the worst platform to be on because they would never side with the actual seller, especially if it's a digital good. They would all side with the buyer. So if they charge back, you literally don't have a say. They just send the money back because digital goods aren't protected. So because it was a digital good, some guy ordered 20, 30 orders from me on 20, 30 different PayPal accounts, on stealth accounts using stolen credit cards. And then they charged back. And it was under my mom's PayPal account back in the day. So what happened was the account went like minus a few $1,000s. And at my age, I was like, what is going on? This is
you're
the
going
worst.
to jail. It's the end of the world.
Yeah, that's how it felt like. But I have very supportive parents, so it was all good. I mean, they did get angry at me, but it was all good.
Have you paid them back now?
Yeah, I have actually.
There you go.
Which was sick. I actually paid them back like 2 years ago. I just had this moment in my brain. I was like, do you remember that time that your parents paid for your, stuff around and all that stuff? And I was like, what if I just pay them back now? And I went and got the cash and gave it to them. They're like, what the hell is this for? I was like, remember that time I got scammed like 10 years ago? And they were like tripping out. Like, they're like completely forgot about it. They're like, what is wrong with you? No, this is not our point in paying for it. Like, it's all right. We support you and stuff. I was like, nah, please take it. So yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. But yeah, so got scammed, got so scared from anything touch with online stuff. Just took a step back from the whole thing. I'm like, man, this was ugly moment for me. So I got a bit paranoid doing internet stuff again. But of course, I'll still be watching YouTube videos. I'll still be. This is the moment of like Iman Gadzi, like, pushing his YouTube when he was younger as well, like him dropping out of school and stuff. Like probably like 20, 30,000 followers on Insta at the time, which was sick, right? And now seeing him grow to the point he is and from where he was, just sick seeing that growth. But just learning from all these guys and learning how they operate. And then
So how did you get into marketing then? What started the marketing phase?
So I'd say that is the organic side, the organic money, understanding attention economy and attention marketing and monetizing attention. Then I took that approach and I started an e-com store, right? And this was me still in school. And then I'd sell these like moon lamps and stuff and drop shipping. And this is when drop shipping was the craze back in the day. Started running Facebook ads. And I was working at McDonald's at the time because, of course, I got scammed and that pretty much ruined me. Then I'll take all the money I earned from McDonald's into paid ads, right? Use that experience, use that Facebook ads knowledge to grow the e-com store to the point it was like, 5,000-6,000 a month. Not profit, of course, as you know, with e-com. But some of it was profit, like 20, 30% margins. I was like, oh, this is pretty sick. I'm learning Facebook ads at the same time, so this is awesome. So I learned all about Facebook. This is when Facebook ads was like all interest stacking, lookalike audiences, 1%,
Sure, super
2%.
targeted,
Yeah,
yeah.
super targeted approach. And then after that, I pretty much learned Facebook ads through that. Then I started selling my services on like 1 or 2 clients at the time. And when I finished school, this was the real moment. When I finished school, high school, I knew what I was going to do because, of course, I was doing all of that. It's like, okay, it's definitely related to marketing, right? It's definitely something to do with the online world. And I knew I loved it and I had a passion for it. So I was like, okay, let's look up some marketing agencies. So I looked at it heaps, and finishing school in Australia, it's really hard to get a job after high school, especially when it's like more corporate like agencies and all that stuff. So I was like, all right, how do I stand out? Like I'm looking at Indeed or Seek. I'm like, man, it's like 400 applicants on this thing. All right. So I was like, okay, let me just do something different. So I found the owners of like 20, 30 agencies, found all their names, and then I'd connect with them on LinkedIn, and I'd connect with them and send a connection request, but I wouldn't say anything. I would just connect. Then I would wait 3 days, like nurture sequence, right? 3 days, I would introduce myself. Hey, I really like your stuff. My name's Joey. Then a couple of days after that, I would email them again or message them again. Hey, then I'd send my pitch sort of thing. I really like your agency. I just finished school. And I'll tell them what I've done. And then one of them got back to me, right? His name is Alex from an agency called Web Profits. Got back to me, send it to like all the managers, and a guy named Ollie got back to me. Great guy, by the way. Got back to me, gave me a chance, went out for coffee, told him my story, and he loved it. Then I got an internship there, and yeah, the rest is pretty much history.
So you went from messing with your first internet money as a kid, which is honestly the best feeling, is your first internet money,
Yeah.
to learning YouTube organic, going viral with the My Name is Jeff, to then going in the opposite direction to McDonald's, to then going back in the opposite direction to going down the marketing rabbit hole. How long were you at that marketing agency you were working for?
So I was there for about 3 years and around 10 months, so almost 4 years. And that is where I learned pretty much everything there is to do with marketing, for sure. Like on a deeper level, because we managed like millions of dollars in ad spend across Google Ads. So I started with Google Ads actually. So I always talk about Facebook, but I actually started in Google Ads working there, and I pretty much worked there until I, got to the point of like just learning it really well. I was really dialed in Google Ads and understood the platform back to front. And then learning Google Ads, you need to learn about CRO, conversion rate optimization, and landing pages and user experience.
Yeah.
So I learned that. And then the next thing was Facebook ads. So I was managing a few e-com brands and just lead gen companies inside this agency. And honestly, that is where I always call it that where I work, because they were so supportive on, they were very supportive on growth and the way they would run their company. I got to see how they run their company and how to build a great culture. They had staff there that would stay there for like 8 to 10 years. Like, there's some people that are still there today from like once the company first started. Like, they know how to keep people, and it's because they've built this great culture. So learning about culture, learning about marketing, learning about how they run their company and all these things. And whilst they were like a full service agency, I got to learn like a few services at the same time. So I had a really good understanding of the whole, landscape of, marketing as a whole by being there. And I always call it, and I've said this to a few team members there, it's the perfect playground for entrepreneurs.
For sure. I think that's what a lot of people say is everyone says, hey, go start a business, go start a business. But like, I think the more appropriate advice some people give is go and work for a business you want to start and learn everything while getting paid so that when you are ready, you're going to absorb so much more than like, yes, everything's online, on YouTube, on courses. You can learn everything. But like you said, it's much easier to literally experience it every single day than it is to like sit and watch YouTube videos all day.
Literally.
So you're working there for 3 and a bit years. What drew the line in the sand for you to decide, okay, I feel like I've learned enough where I am. I want to go and start my own thing.
That's a great question. So you get to a point where it's like once you stop learning, and this is especially for people that have this growth mindset to them, where they're always looking to grow and always looking to achieve and strive for great things, you'll get to a point where, because it's in your nature, and it was in my nature to continue just growing, and when you get to a point where you've like sort of like started, okay, you're still learning, and for sure, if I stayed there, I could have kept learning and learning more for sure. But I got to a point where it's like plateauing a little bit.
So it was like the speed of growth was slowing down.
The speed of growth was slowing down. Like I was going through like the speed of growth there was like compounding in knowledge, and I didn't care about money, didn't care about my salary, and I think that's really important, right? Especially when you go with the intention to learn, your worry should not be about money, like at all. Like when I got the internship, I was like I was getting paid for that. I'm getting paid for that because it was a paid internship. I'm like, why am I getting paid? Like in my mind, I'm like, oh, sick. This is just a bonus on top. That's the mindset I brought to the table to this company, and I didn't care about no salary, nothing like that. So having that attitude allowed me to really learn exponentially, right? And it came around entering the 4th year. I was like, okay, I knew I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always knew I wanted to do my own thing and build my own company, and also build it with my brother. I always knew that, but the pain of staying there was not greater than the desire, if that makes sense. My point in that is, it got to a point where the pain of me staying there was just way too much for me to bear, because I knew I could do greater things in life, right? Whilst it was still great being there, right? Like I just want to straight, like it was great working for a company, but I would be like laying down in bed every night. I'd be like, man, I'm gonna go back to work tomorrow, and it's not even what I truly want to do with my life. Like and everyone at the agency knew that I wanted to do my own thing. Like all my workmates, and they all knew I wanted to do my own thing. So came to a point where I was like, okay, I've learned, just about enough, and I was like, you just need to go for it. I mean, I had a coffee with this friend who is a successful agency owner in Australia, and I was talking to him, and I was telling him like, man, I really want to do my own thing. Like he was just like to me, man, just make the jump. Like, what do you have to lose? Like it was really scary because I built my identity at this company. It's like you leaving is like killing your identity, and Joel Kaplan says that. He said that in one of his YouTube videos. He goes, leaving his, because he was at a prestigious job as well before starting his agency, which was really interesting. I was really resonated with that. It's like, oh, that's like me right now. Like I'm at this great job, comfortable salary, everything's great. Like, the people are great. And then he goes, I had to kill my old identity for me to go, and it was the scariest thing I had to do. And I was like, man, that's exactly why I need to make that jump. So I spoke to that agency guy. He's like to me, just make the jump. I mean, what's the worst case scenario? You go out there, it doesn't work out. You're not even married. You don't have kids. Like, no responsibilities. And he goes, just go get another job. Like, you've got the experience. Any agency would bring you back. And I was like, man, what the hell am I worried about? So I went home and I was like, that's it. Handed in my resignation letter. Gave a 2-month notice. And pretty much just got to work from there to build the agency up.
Did you sign clients before you'd officially left?
So as soon as I resigned, I had a client on the side I was working on already, which was great. And then that was like 2023 June, I would say. And then as soon as I handed in my resignation letter, do you know, it's crazy what happens when you put yourself in a corner. It's actually ridiculous. I don't think I've put my head down that hard before. Like, once you've actually done it, like you've made the jump, it's like, crap, I need to figure it out now. And it goes back to what we were talking about the other week. It's like, how do you get that again whilst being at a mature business? Just hire people and make sure that food's on the table for them, like, which we'll talk about soon. But in general, what I felt was this immense amount of discomfort to get shit done. That's what it was.
I think when you've got your back against the wall, there's no reason not to succeed. I think too many people live in a place where like their back's close to the wall, but not right against it, and they're kind of comfortable still there. And you have to force yourself into a corner a little bit, like you said,
exactly
to
right.
push back in the other way.
Literally, man. And that's the exact sort of moment it was. And I was like, okay, got my head down, started learning about how the hell do you get clients for an agency. That's the one thing that I didn't know about. I knew everything else with fulfillment, and it's just the sales part I had no idea about, how to actually acquire clients. So that was a whole journey in itself. And till today, I'm still learning how to acquire clients, which is crazy. But yeah, just putting my head down.
So you started with e-com clients, and then you transitioned to like home improvement. Why did you make that transition? Well, you worked with a gym as well, right? It was like there was e-com clients, and then it was like info product fitness stuff,
Yes.
and then home improvement. Why change?
So, okay, great question. So pretty much whilst I was working at the agency, I realized how crazy it can get when, there's like the company has to be structured in the right way. And they had the team, they had the talent to actually fulfill on being a full service agency and working with every niche and every vertical, right? And I saw that model and how they ran it. And I was like, yeah, but for me, starting out on my own, starting the business on my own, it's going to be really difficult to be a full service whilst also serving everyone in the industry. So I need to build some sort of conveyor belt, right? And the only way you can build a conveyor belt and have a product is if you niche down, right? So I've had worked with like home improvement clients in the past, but a lot of my experience came from like SaaS,
Right.
info, also e-com. But the one industry that I felt that was lacking greatly in the Australian market at the time was definitely home improvement. Like there was no agency specifically for the home improvement sector. It was very like they're usually way behind. And I feel like e-com has just gotten so far ahead, and it's become like this massive red ocean where everyone's just trying to go for e-com, e-com, e-com. I was like, man, I'm not gonna play in that field. Like if everyone's there, everyone's competing for the top customers, in an already small market like Australia, I'm like, okay, let me just sneak through the back and just go for this underserved blue ocean, which was the home improvement space. And I was like, man, it just sounded like a no-brainer.
How long ago was that you made the decision to start working with home improvement? Was that the same moment you decided to start the agency? You knew you were going in that direction?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Like it was pretty much within 3 months, I would say.
Okay. And how long ago did you start the agency?
We started it in around 2023, mid 2023 to October.
Okay. It's like 3-ish years or so.
Pretty much.
Valiant.
Yes.
So Valiant Digital or just Valiant now?
It's Valiant Digital, but I like to call it Valiant. Yeah.
Valiant. Okay, cool. How many team members do you have?
So right now it's about a team of, I would say, 6.
Okay, so you built a team of 6 over a couple of years.
Correct.
How many clients are you serving?
So right now we're serving 40 clients across Australia mainly, and also the US.
So now you've expanded into the US as well.
Correct.
And what services are you providing?
Services, so pretty much as a whole, if I was to simplify it, it's lead gen for local businesses focusing on home improvement. Yeah.
Is that
Meta ads.
Facebook and Google?
Meta ads primarily. It's probably 80-20, man, at the moment. It's like 80% Meta and 20% Google for clients that need Google. But I would say it's 80-20 at the moment for sure. So that includes Meta ads, the creative strategy side of things, actually producing great creatives, not that SMMA bullcrap with Canva templates, and actual great creative strategy that actually makes customers convert to qualified leads. It's not just like a static image with text on top, right? So creative strategy, taking the ecom principles from creative strategy, like the creative strategy element, which is huge in the ecom space, and applying it to boring businesses is what we're doing. And Google ads and landing pages as well when needed, for sure.
So would you say that's your zone of genius, or the unique selling point, the thing that differentiates you, is that you put more attention into the creatives
Correct.
than the competitors?
What sets us apart is like, our creatives and the way we do our creative is second to none, especially in the lead gen space. Because what we do is we essentially just, we download the client's brain, right? We learn about what sets them apart. We learn about these little things, even their sense of humor, even their personalities. And we bring that all together into great creatives that actually bring trust to the brain, right? And it's like everyone keeps talking about the trust recession, whatever. I think it's even worse in the home improvement space, because it's like people coming inside your home, right? If someone's coming inside your home, this person, it's like they must trust this person. this is your home, you know? You're going to bring this person over for a quote. It requires a lot of trust. So if it requires a lot of trust, like how can we manufacture that trust? And the best way to do that, hands down, is through video creative, and solid video creative that actually builds trust with the customer, and builds his authority to them.
So is there anything you're open to sharing on that creative side? Is there anything in the process that you think is important, or something that people skip or don't do that you guys have down that makes it work?
I would say definitely just speaking to the customer and getting to know them very well. Like on our onboarding calls, like we go over so much in terms of time. We don't mind because we just know if we just crack the onboarding to a point where we want it to go, we can create the best ads for this person, hands down. And because we've done it time and time again, we have the right UGC structures in place, the scripting, the frameworks. Pretty much, this is all the stuff that e-com industry already knows about. And I'm just taking that and applying it to local businesses, really. Sabri Subi, what he said was, and I resonated with this really well. Demand capture generates millions. Demand generation generates billions, right? And the reason for that, it's taking creatives, doing great creative strategy is in the demand generation space. You're literally manufacturing demand for your brand, right? Whilst demand capture, you're waiting for them to come to you on Google, right? It's like I always say it on client calls. It's like, imagine Google as a leaking roof, and everyone is trying to get the same. Everyone's holding a bucket. Everyone's trying to fight for that little leak, right? They search on Google. Everyone's fighting for that same customer. With Meta, with the right creative strategy, you can not only capture the people that are 3% ready to buy now, but also market to the 97% and get them to buy now in 6, 12 months, 18 months from now. So when they look at Google and when they search on Google, they're not searching up roofer near me. They're searching up Jim's Roofing, right? Because they know you, they trust you, they like you, they've watched your content, and they trust you. And I think that's our secret sauce, really.
Okay. So building creative's good enough to basically convert everybody at some point in time.
Literally.
Not just the buyers.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's something that I definitely noticed about, when you originally reached out to kind of consult and work together, right? You're like one of the select few people that I've decided is worth putting the time into. And I could see that you not only were willing to take action, and actually, I think a lot of people don't have this phase of like, figure it the fuck out type of attitude, which I could tell. But then you also combine that with the marketing knowledge you have, and like you shared there, your ability to actually build good creatives. It makes it pretty straightforward to run a good agency. It's like, you're going to problem solve, you're going to do what you need to do to make it happen, and you have the skill set to market well, which are two attributes that I think you're going to be successful with that no matter what. What made you decide to reach out to me specifically? Because at the time, I wasn't really doing a lot of consulting. I was like doing a little bit here and there with odd people, but you made it somewhat clear that you wanted help with the agency. What help do you feel like you needed, and why did you reach out in the first place?
It's a great question. I think I was at a point where I was like, okay, I grew the agency to a point, with me, my brother, and the team I had behind me. But I just felt like something was missing. Like I just needed someone to just look at what I'm currently doing and just tell me, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is right, this is right. And this is why it's so important to have some sort of mentor or coach to actually look at, but I have to stress this enough. It has to be from someone that is credible, reputable, and not just some guru. Like you have to just do your own research and find out who this person is. And after doing immense amount of research, that was you. And I'll get it down, and I'll explain how I found you. But like in terms of what I was facing at the point, I was like, okay, I just needed someone to look over everything I'm doing and just transform the business, because I really wanted to grow it in last year, 2024. But I would say that was what it was, man. It was mainly that, just looking at everything I'm doing and tell me what I'm doing wrong and tell me what I'm doing right and what to do more of.
Was there anything in particular that you already knew you were doing wrong but didn't know how to solve? Or was it a case of, hey, I haven't been down this path before, I need pure guidance on what I should improve in the first place? Or did you know you were in bottlenecks?
Bro, definitely, I would say my biggest bottleneck has always been sales. Like closing and sales close, right? Like I'm great on the marketing end, and then like the back end, the fulfillment, the product, keeping churn low, keeping retention super high. I'm a big geek when it comes to that stuff. But when it comes to like selling, and that's where it was like, it was funny. Remember the first sales call you reviewed?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, this is the thing is you're like a very sociable person, and it's
Mm,
actually usually normal for sociable people to be like good at sales. Usually extroverted
yeah,
people are. But obviously like everyone has a different zone of geniuses, and like you just shared, your zone of genius is clearly marketing and understanding that perspective of it.
yeah,
And I think you definitely had like too much of a laid back approach, and we needed to tighten up going from laid back to more serious, more savage, more uh,
doctor, consultant,
consultant type
yeah,
approach. Yeah.
for sure,
What were the biggest things we changed? I know this was a while ago now.
yeah.
Do you remember what some of the
Oh,
things we
I remember
changed were?
everything, man, back to
Yeah.
front. Yeah, I know exactly what happened. So we had an onboarding call. We looked at everything, and you were just able to look at everything like an architect and just be like, okay, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is right. And then immediately I was like, wait, are you telling me to like double my prices? I was like, what are you talking about? Like, how much can? And you just kept hammering into me. I was like super hesitant to do it, and I was like, all right, let me just try it. So it was January. You told me to double my pricing. My close rate was quite low at the time. It was like, I think it was like 10%. It's like 10-15% at best, which was super low. I had no like real sales. Like I knew a little bit from a few YouTube videos, but you're not gonna learn without actual like someone actually reviewing your sales calls. Like you're not gonna learn crap. And having that was great as well. But mainly the biggest changes were just really honing in more into home improvement and sticking to Australia at the time. I would say also it was doubling our pricing, and also we actually doubled our close rate.
Hmm.
Uh,
How does that work though? How can you double your price and double your close rate
okay,
at the same time?
this is okay. This is where everyone just this is where I was like at a point where like, how am I going to double my pricing? My close rate's going to dip. But it was so funny, man. Like I doubled my pricing, and it was at the same time you were reviewing my sales calls as well. And I just implemented like a few, just having the right discovery. And my discovery was terrible. Having the right discovery, being a consultant, being a doctor, making them realize that situation they're in is actually worse than they think, and removing limiting beliefs. This is all the things I've learned from you, right? Reviewing our sales calls. But the crazy part was, as soon as I doubled my price, my close rate literally went from 15% to 30%, literally overnight, which was crazy,
So
right?
that's a 4x, and that's twice as much money and twice the close rate.
Literally. So why do I think that is? In terms of when you asked me for why, when they were comparing me with the others, I feel like the value we provided was there. They could see the value, they could see the product, and they could see it, but they couldn't like pick their brain as to why I was charging that much. It's like yeah, you're charging that much. It's like who was it? It was Kurt Anderson at Agency Founders. He goes, it's like you're talking about Rolex and Louis Vuitton. It's like, would you look at it the same if it was? I think probably botching this, but would you look at the same if it was like a couple $100?
Right.
You wouldn't look at it the same, right? It's like your product is so great. You believe in your product so much. When I was dropping the price, I was like, they just didn't take me seriously.
Sounds too good to be true.
Sounds too good to be true. That's exactly what it was. And then as soon as we doubled our pricing, it's like they took me more seriously, but it also brought the right clients in and better quality clients. So what happened was, not only did our close rate double, our churn actually dropped because better clients came on. Which which was insane, right? It's like the ones that were looking for that cheap approach and all that stuff, those clients are more likely to churn at a higher rate. But as soon as I doubled my price, it's like it attracted the right type of people.
So when we loop back a lot of the changes as you're mentioning these, and I'm thinking back to it, a lot of it comes down to like repositioning the agency to be a premium, higher quality option,
Literally.
right? So I remember when you didn't just have home improvement on the website, you still had we do e-com, info products. You had the old website that still had a lot of different services,
Yeah.
and I said, hey, if you're going to go into home improvement, you don't want home improvement people coming to your website and looking like a generalist. So then you like snapped your fingers and you went out and you got a killer, really, really good website that you still got today that
Yes.
crushes and looks really good, instantly positions you guys really premium. Then you went and doubled your price. You cleaned up your sales process so that that matches your price and your positioning. And naturally, you're just starting to attract what you put out. Like the vibe you give out, you're attracting those people. And the more you find those people, the more you're conditioning your pixel, the more qualified people are coming through. And then you've got less headaches on the back end, it sounds like, because you're not dealing with terrible fucking clients. You're
Literally.
dealing with better businesses that have more cash flow that, I think we both know from working in home improvement, you want people that have some sort of sales process, who already have a CRM, they're not learning business for the first time, and you
That's really
attract those
important.
people.
And that's really important, by the way, the sales
Mhm.
process side, especially in the lead gen space. It's like,
100%.
if they don't have that cracked, it's like whatever marketing you do just won't work, which actually break their business even more. I've realized, and I've worked with clients like that where we generate them leads, and this is like a newbie mistake I made, like generating leads for clients that don't understand sales, don't understand about picking up the phone, don't understand about qualification, sales principles, and all that stuff. It literally breaks their business because it's like too many leads to handle. They have no CRM, nothing in place to actually manage everything, and it actually, it doesn't work out at all. So, yes, it did bring in the right people. It did bring in the people that understood sales, understood marketing, and it just took me more seriously. And yeah, repositioning the website was a great thing. And because I was like 90% of my clients were home improvement, and I had like one or two ecom, but that's because I was getting frustrated with local businesses because of the type of clients I had at the time,
Mm.
right? But because we repositioned, brought the right people in, and it just made so much sense to just go, let's just go all in. And that's when everything just went on
I
another
I
level.
had a very, very similar moment where, like, way back when our agency was starting, we were in a similar place again, hence what we're talking about, taking
Yeah.
shortcuts, and you can learn quicker from the stuff we've done to take the shortcuts. We went through that same phase where we were like working with not great clients, we weren't really charging enough, and I was even questioning if I want to run the agency. And I also made that internal switch to be like, okay, fuck it, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it properly. Let's charge more, let's actually attract better people. And the exact same thing happened to us years ago when we did this as well. We doubled our price, our close rate literally increased.
Oh, really?
This same thing, we were like, that doesn't make sense. Now all of a sudden we're making more money, better clients. And to loop back to you getting better clients and obviously improving your sales, what's been your record month in terms of how many clients you've closed in a single month?
Record month. I mean, clients closed, I think it was like 7 or 8.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
So more than one a week. So
Yeah.
you're on a good pace, and almost 2 a week.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also because you expanded into the US as
Correct.
well,
Yes, but
right?
that was even before US expansion.
Oh, so that was when you were in Australia still?
Yeah.
Okay,
And it's, by the way, Australia is such a much smaller market we're talking about here. We're
right.
talking, I think it's 28 million people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's even harder to crack something in Australia, like
Mhm.
way harder. And we haven't even like gone deep into the US. Like we're just dabbling our feet there at the
Mhm.
moment. So, it's like with the Australian market already being so tough with like how geographically it's like you can only sign clients in some states because like, well, you can sign, but there's not friggin' over 50 states like America. It's like,
Right.
it's like
And
there's like
everyone's
3 major
competing.
states in Australia that have all the population. There is other states as well, but it's like that's where majority of our clients are. So it started getting a bit tough there. But in general, like Australia is a tough market to crack, and everyone knows this. They say one of the sharks said he respects Aussies so much because to make something work in Australia, a lot of entrepreneurs came from, like a lot of great ones came from Australia because they made it work in Australia before expanding in such a small market already as it is. And if it worked in such a small market, how the hell would it not work in other countries, right?
I for sure believe that. I hear the same thing about marketers in Brazil, which is where we hire a lot of
Oh,
marketers from, is Brazil very similarly, but Brazil only speaks Portuguese and they can't sell to any of the countries around them. So they have to be really good at marketing internally. And I see a lot of people notice that same thing. And some of Eman's team are from Brazil for that reason, because they have this like in tuned ability to get better at marketing for their country. And it's probably the same as Australia, right? Australia speaks English, can go to different countries, but you're in the middle of fucking nowhere as
mm.
well. So you're pretty damn far away
Yeah.
as well. So what is the stuff you're working on in the agency now? You've kind of cracked your positioning, you've cracked your pricing, you're growing at a steady rate. You started to define and improve your sales process. What are the bottlenecks that you're solving for now?
The bottlenecks we're solving for is literally team, man. Like, team is the biggest thing now. And I never understood this ever. when I first started. It's like, hiring's probably so easy. It's like just hiring. Just give me clients and I'll figure it out kind of thing. But now I'm at that point where it's like, okay, how do you actually build culture? How do you actually build a team? Because I've learnt now in business, you always face, you know, the first challenge is like, okay, replacing your income from your job. The second challenge is, okay, how do I grow it to X amount, Y amount, Z amount, whatever it is. Then you get to a point where the bottleneck is like literally, okay, I actually have to hire to get to the next stage because you actually can't grow if you don't hire, right? And it could be just, you know, um, you just find yourself in the weeds of things and you're working on things like sometimes I'm like stopping everything. I'm like, what am I doing right now? I should be working on a business, but I'm just doing all these little things that literally should not be done by myself. And that's something I'm really learning now. That's my biggest bottleneck at the moment. And I'll be honest, like it kind of like hiring someone does, put me like freaks me out a little bit because like I need to make sure food is on the table for these guys, and I really want people that work with us to actually make a great living and support their families. So it is a big step forward, but yeah, I think that's the next step to building a great team and just continue scaling.
I would say, and I don't know if you feel the same way about this, at least from where we've got to in the agency, I've got to the point where I believe hiring and finding the right people and hiring at the right pace is almost harder than signing clients
Wow.
now, because it's like once you have your process dialed in, it's just very repeatable. But when, especially in the phase you're going through, you're hiring lots of different roles all the time as you grow. And some of these people are the first times you've hired people. Whereas like for sales, it's like you've already done this sales call a million times over. You've already signed this type of client. So we've at least started to find that hiring has become harder than marketing and sales is.
I agree.
And
For
one of the
sure.
ways we solved that was by literally treating hiring like sales and marketing,
Yeah.
where we build VSLs, we build landing pages, we're advertising so that we can attract the right type of people in. Because it's really easy to post something on Indeed and get thousands of people come through or hundreds of people come through. But you also want people that like genuinely want to work for your business. And the only way we've found to do that is to literally market ourselves in the hiring process the same as what we are in the marketing process for sales and the same as what you are as well. So that's a big thing that we've had to put attention into that I know we've spoken about a few times is
Oh man,
building good hiring funnels.
it's honestly like literally exactly the same. Everything's perception, right? It's like when I look at a brand, and I'm sure you're the same because you've got this creative mind to yourself as well. It's like when you look at someone you want to work with, then you look at their website, you're like, bro, I don't want to work with them anymore.
Yeah.
Just the brand looks so cheap. It just looks like they just put it together on ClickFunnels. Like it just looks so scammy. And it's like the same thing with hiring, right? It's all about perception. Having you on camera, talking about the opportunity, a VSL, them going on the page, like there's emotion, there's direct response copy inside the video that actually makes them engage. It's like, oh my God, this is exactly what I'm looking for. It's literally the same thing. You're selling someone to go from their current job, right, onto your job. And they're the best candidates usually. It's the ones that are already in a job, right? So it's like, how do you convince someone to leave their job to join yours? And that's a big push, right? It's literally selling them through direct response, and I think you've cracked that really well.
Yeah, it's literally sales, it's trust building, it's all the exact same stuff. Um I think you're on a really good trajectory and a really good path. And I think that from us working together, I'd also consider you a good friend as well. What would you say to anybody that is thinking about doing consulting? Whether it's not even potentially to work with me because I'm candidly very selective because I want to work or talk
Yeah,
to people that I actually give a fuck about talking
yeah.
to, even if they were thinking about just doing some sort of coaching or mentorship for the agency, what would you say to anyone thinking about doing it?
You have to do it. There's literally no other way. Like, you can go and try figure it out on your own, watching YouTube videos and all these things, but you'll never get the personalized advice to your business, your current situation, where you're currently at. Like having someone like, for example, Ryan, look at my sales calls, literally tell me what I'm doing wrong, what I'm saying wrong on live format, and taking notes and actually applying it is literally the best thing you can ever get. Um, I've been with a few consultants. I've been in many programs. I've been many coaches. Um, I've been in many. And the one advice I have to give to everyone when picking the right person, just make sure you do your research and make sure it's the right person and it actually matches to what your business model is. And for me, that was Ryan, and he's been the best option so far. So it's like, just make sure you find the right person. And if you don't have one, I don't know what you're doing. Like, you actually need one. Like, think of it this way. You can compress years of mistakes, tens of hundreds, even $100,000 in mistakes that you're going to make in like a fraction of the time just by speaking to a consultant that's already done it.
For sure. I can tell you I'm not going to be one of these guys that says I've burnt down my agency at 50 grand a month or 100 grand a month and doing something else. So really everything that we're learning and doing at Tridus, we are literally just passing it off to you in real time.
That's what I love. You're still running a business. It's not like you've left your agency to start this.
I'll tell you one thing that's interesting from what you mentioned, and I appreciate the kind words as well.
You're welcome.
Is that the shortcuts you're taking, there's even moments when we have conversations where, like, because I've already went through this process, I've already went through the mental mindfuck of deciding, is this the right thing to do? Is it the wrong thing to do? I've already spent the days, weeks, years going through and figuring it out, that when I look at stuff for your business and I'm able to say, Joey, this is 100% the right thing to do. Like, I still even notice in yourself, you have that kind of twitch in the back of your mind because you haven't went through the process at the same amount of time. You're questioning, like, is it the right thing to do? Like, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. And we've had some conversations where I've had to challenge you and push you a little bit because
challenge me hard.
There's that bit in the back of your mind to be like, but like, what if I should do this? What if I should do that? Because you haven't spent months grueling through figuring it out.
Yeah.
But I'd say something you've done really well at, and of course we can always still improve, it's difficult to go against your natural instinct, is I think the reason that you've grown and done as well as you have is because, at least from us working together, you have to a certain extent just blindly trusted and done what I've said is the right thing to do, which has obviously worked out.
For sure.
And I think that's something that is a really good trait a lot of people should lean into, is that people call it like slightly like uneducated optimism or blind optimism, knowing that the path is right. You maybe don't understand how or why, but just doing it and figuring it out is something that I think you've done really, really well.
For sure. And that wouldn't be, I couldn't have done that without your advice and actually telling me, because it's so easy to look at someone and be like, how can you not sign your first client? Like, literally just do this, and you get it. But in their head and their mind and their world, it's like the hardest thing in the world, right? But having, there's different problems at every stage of growth you get to. And I'm at that point now where it's like we had that call like a month ago. You grilled me hard, but it was great. It's exactly what I need. By the way, if your coach doesn't grill you, it's not a good coach, right? And it's like, you were able to look at me and be like, man, what are you doing? Trust me, just do this. I already made this mistake. Just do it. And having someone behind my back gives me that comfort to be like, okay, let's go for it. Let's do it. So yeah.
To wrap this up, from the conversations we've had, you've obviously been at Agency Founders this week. Lots of actionable stuff for you to move the needle in the agency. Obviously, there's millions of stuff you could always be doing. What are the few things that you perhaps need to focus on when you get back next week, over this next month, to move the needle for the business? What are the things you're going to be doing?
Definitely hiring. So definitely hiring a closer, a CSM just to help with the fulfillment side, but more on the sales side, just really, cracking that, building a awesome sales team, because I'm currently doing all the sales at the moment myself. My brother's taken over all the fulfillment already. He's doing a great job, probably 10 times better job than I was doing when I was in fulfillment. So he's taking care of all of that. So I'm completely out of fulfillment, which is huge, right? And that's the hardest thing people let go of, but I'm still struggling at times of letting go of the vine. But yeah, you mentioned the book Buy Back Your Time in our earlier conversation. It's like, it's literally what it is. It's about how do you continue to buy back our time. And me and my brother being the two founders, it's like, okay, as we continue growing, we have to learn how to continue buying back our time. And that's the current stage we're in now. It's like, continue buying back time so we can focus our energy on things that actually give us energy, but also focus on places where you can yield the most results from. And that's where we're currently at with everything, for sure.
So you've grown a successful agency, still got a lot of room to continue growing, which is a great part about the agency model, is like, even when you feel like you're doing well, you go to events like Agency Founders and you realize,
opens your brain,
man, I could 5x, I could still 10x. But I guess because everyone's building a business somewhat selfishly for themselves. Like, no one's building a business because they want to help 100 home improvement businesses. It's like they're doing it first because they're getting paid, because they want to look after themselves. Is there anything that you feel like has improved or changed in your life since the agency has grown? I know you recently bought yourself a new car,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
bought myself a car, which was nice.
Yeah.
But in general, like from I don't think the car's great. Like it gives some sort of satisfaction, but like you get over it. Like it's nothing really. I think the main thing that I really that has benefit is like everyone around me. Really, it's like really having that support and really having that uh support to be able to like help parents out, you know help with the house and all these little things are huge. So I would say it brings you from a place of scarcity to a place of abundance, and I think that's a really different definitely a different mindset to be in, to be able to do what you love and get paid for it, and to be in a place where this is where you truly want to be. I think there's nothing else out there for it
Yeah,
that compares.
there's definitely something to be said about having the freedom to know that if anything was to happen in your life, whether your parents needed help or anything else, being able to know that you would be able to step up and help them without, having to take out loans or something crazy. I think there's also a lot of freedom in knowing that you can be there for your loved ones and your family,
For
no
sure.
matter
For
what
sure,
situation.
100%, and I think that brings a great amount of comfort, for
Yeah.
sure.
I think that's a good place to wrap up. I appreciate you
Yes,
coming
sir.
on, Joey.
Thanks, Ryan.
Amazing.